Hey everyone, Matt here from Docs Running, and today we're going to do a video review of the ASICS GT 2012. So this is ASICS standard moderate stability daily training shoe that has evolved so much over its lifetime. And one of the reasons I want to do this video review, even though we already have a written review out, is that I am really enjoying this shoe. And I'm going to put this out there as this is so far, my 2023 stability shoe of the year. And I want to talk you through why that is, why it might be a good shoe for you, and why it might not be a good shoe for you, because I want to help you make good decisions. So coming in spec-wise, this is again a moderate stability shoe, 9.5 ounces, men's size 9, 8.3 ounces, women's size 8, 32.5 in the heel, 24.5 in the forefoot for an 8mm drop. It's got brand new redesign top to bottom, Flight Foam Blast Plus in the midsole with a pure gel heel. It's got a brand new upper, although the upper fits very similar to previous versions where it's just a teeny bit on the snug side, which is very classic for this shoe. But the ride is so different than previous, and it continues on the trajectory where this shoe has continued to lose weight and just feel not like a racing flat, but just have that versatility to handle a little, picking up the pace, but just so comfortable for daily miles. The biggest thing I want to start with in terms of this shoe is the heel. ASICS, you did a great job. Thank you so much for finally doing this. I know I have griped about this for years, but you finally have a heel bevel here, which is great. So there's two things that happen here. If you are a heel striker, this shoe's gonna work really well because there is both a bevel and it's not super extended, which is really, really nice. Some shoes do that. This one just a teeny bit, so it's curved finely. And then there is a additional piece right here, this geometry part where if you land at the posterior lateral aspect, which is what most people do, the foam is going to collapse more because you've got this nice little gap here. So they're using geometry both to help bevel the heel and have this nice curve, as well as when you land to collapse under you and help kind of extend out your ground contact time. So it kind of supposedly decreases forces there. I didn't really feel much of that. I just feel a super smooth heel contact, which is something that often ASICS struggles with. Not in this shoe at all. Very smooth heel contact, really nice transition, and then really nice forefoot transition. It is a little on the stiffer side as our stack heights are getting taller, but it's just nice forefoot rocker shoe overall without being too tall that just really gets into a rhythm. Purpose-wise, this shoe works really well for easy runs. It works super well for long runs. I just did 11 in it this morning, and you just put this on, you forget about things. It's great. You don't have to worry about, is this going to give me enough stability? Is it not? It is just enough there. And speaking of stability, ASICS doing a great job, especially with this shoe, with several different methods of both newer and older concepts. I would say more newer. There is no post in this shoe. It's more internal geometry. They're calling it 3D guidance, which really means that inside the sole, they've got different areas that have different densities that are integrated as a one piece. So if you collapse inwards, if you need that stuff, it will push back against you. But if you don't push into it, it's just gonna be there for it. It won't get in your way. So I like that when I fatigue and need a little more stability, I start noticing the post. When I don't, I'm feeling good, or not the post, I'm sorry. I start noticing some firmer elements on the medial side. When I don't need it, it gets out of the way and it integrates really, really well. Again, no post, sorry I said that. There are sidewalls here, so a medial sidewall as well as a large lateral sidewall to offset the fact that there is a good amount of medial stability here. And unlike the Kayano, I did a comparison review. This definitely has medial stability. You step in, you're like, okay, I can feel some pressure in there, but it's not the same pressure you get like a post where it's like jamming into your foot. It's really nicely integrated, and the feeling disappears really quick. And you're like, oh, I'm just stable and I don't have to worry about whether I have enough stability or not, just I can go. So really good job using kind of like 3D space stuff to be able to go, hey, can we help guide you and adapt this shoe to your foot, which is really nice. You're obviously going to adapt to it as well. But some nice newer methods, including the fact that the midfoot is filled in. Thank you. I talked so much about this, but the midfoot is filled in. It's kind of a more wider last throughout, which is nice because the more the midfoot is filled in, if you do need some stability or guidance there, it's just a little more material that you'll keep going through. So really similar outsole to the Kayano Light, and I think this works really well for creating a lot of ground contact. It just makes it so smooth. Some guidance lines gently through here. I don't know how much those truly impact your mechanics, but a filled in midfoot for me definitely makes a large impact. So it does a good job of truly being a moderate stability shoe. Those who have worn it in the past, you're gonna do absolutely fine. It's just gonna be a little different because it's a little softer midsole. Like when I go from super shoes to this, it's not a super shoe, but it's got a little bounce to it where I'm like, oh, it doesn't feel as extreme when I go from like an ASICS Metaspeed Sky to this, right? It can still pick up the pace a little bit that I found, but it's really meant for daily miles, long runs, and just getting miles on your feet. And it does a great job of that. Durability is really good. I have 63 miles on my pair, and there's no wear on the outsole. It's great. The Kayano did the same thing, so this is doing really, really well. My last little bit about this is the fit. Like I mentioned earlier, it's just a teeny bit more snug, almost like performance fit, which is kind of how the GT2000 has fit for a while. There's a thick heel counter back here. I haven't noticed it because there's so much heel collar padding here. Didn't bother me, but those are really sensitive. Be cautious. No security issues. Very nice, secure fit. And just a shoe that gets out of the way. Like, it's a nice, got a little bounce to it. It rolls super smooth. It's just something in this day and age of these shoes being super crazy and adding plates and all this kind of stuff. It's just something you can consistently strap on, get out the door, get some miles in. And that's why I really like this shoe, because I don't have to think about it that much. It's just good. It feels good. It fits good. It's adapted to my foot as it's kind of broken in, and it's super durable. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the GT 2012. Might be a shoe that works for you if you need medial stability. If you do not, just know that this shoe is going to be in that direction. If you need a little bit more room, this might not be the best option, but again, the upper does adapt to you. And outside of that, I can't think of much other reason. It's a great shoe for getting daily miles on, and I'm really impressed with where ASICS is taking this. And I'm going to keep getting miles on this, and I'll get you a 100-mile review really soon, actually.